celebration presented by the Westlake Council of PTAs. I'm Dawn Evans. This is Marie Novak. We're the co-chairs of tonight's event. Thank you for being here with us this evening, and we so appreciate the help to make this special night memorable for everybody. We appreciate everybody who's helped, all of our Founders Day assistants, everybody who came early tonight, everybody who's been helping for the last few months. This has been a long process, but such a fun evening, and we welcome you all. We know for many of you this is your first time attending Founders Day, so we hope that you enjoy the festivities. It is usually a night full of surprises, laughter, and maybe even a few tears. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'd like to start by formally welcoming and acknowledging our Board of Education members seated here in the front. President Barb Lazinski, please. And Board Member Joe Kraft. We'd also like to welcome our Superintendent Scott Goggin. So much for joining us tonight.
We would now like to recognize the Founders Day Committee. This group is made up of at least one representative from each of the 9 PTA units, including our 7 schools, Early Childhood PTA, and the Westlake Council of PTAs. This dedicated team coordinated the nomination and voting process for each unit's award. And this evening, they are assisting with our dinner and ceremony. This committee is supported by the unit presidents as well as the building principals. As each unit representative is introduced, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. We'd ask if you please leave your applause till the end. First, we'll start with Westlake Early Childhood PTA. Our Founders Day chairs are Sarah Tenorio and Elizabeth Zabo, and president is Julia Notek. Representing Bassett Elementary, Founders Day Chair Mary Macias, President Jennifer Richards, and Principal Jim Sanfilippo. Representing Dover Elementary PTA, Founders Day Chair Katie Eason, President Rachel Jewell, and Principal Tim Barrett. Representing Hilliard Elementary PTA, Founders Day Chair Sarah Candid, who couldn't be with us tonight, but in her place is Kristen Pugh. Sorry. President Amber McClooney and Principal Kim Tucker. Representing Holiday Lane Elementary PTA, the co-chairs are Patty Barnes and Megan Navratil, President Susan Hunter, and Principal Beth D'Agostino. Representing Dover Intermediate PTA, Founders Day Chairs Lauren Backus, Jessica Kim, and Selena Zanatti. President, I got a lot here. President Lisa Miller, Principal Nick Miller, and Assistant Principal Mackenzie Hall. Representing Lee Bernison Middle School PTA, Founders Day Chairs Jessica Kim, President Diane Jordinger, Principal Amanda Musselman, and Assistant Principal Kevin Barr, who cannot be with us tonight. And representing Westlake High School PTSA, Founders Day Chair Mary Essick and Lauren Falcone, President Kim Mather, Principal Paul Wilson, Assistant Principal Ned Lover, and Bridget Elias. Thank you, everyone. Without your help, we could not successfully pull off an event to this magnitude. It's hard to get all the moving pieces in place, and some are harder than others, but it's always magical when it happens.
Now I'd like to recognize our past award recipients who are here with us tonight. If you have won the Ohio PTA Achievement Award, please stand. There are so many of you in attendance this evening, and we are honored that you continue to show your support for this event. Finally, we'd ask any recipient of the Helping Hand and Outstanding District Educator Awards with us this evening to stand. Retired Bassett librarian Nancy Jackson, 2016 recipient of the Outstanding District Educator Award, Principal Paul Wilson, and the 2017 recipient of the Outstanding District Educator Award, Rebecca Kowalski. Before we move on to our awards presentation, we have a few brief opening remarks from Lauren Backus, the President of the Westlake Council of PTAs, Barb Lazinski, President of the Westlake Board of Education, and Scott Goggin, our Superintendent. Lauren?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome from me to the annual Founders Day Recognition Dinner, one of my favorite nights of the year. Tonight we are celebrating the founding of the PTA over 120 years ago to honor the contributions of those who enrich our students' experiences and are dedicated to the PTA mission, which is, well, all my PTA people can recite this now, right? To be a powerful voice for all children, a relevant resource for families and communities, and a strong advocate for public education. To set the stage for the evening of recognition, I'd like to share some history, the history lesson portion of the evening. There are three women credited with founding the PTA. Their names were Alice McClellan Birney, Phoebe Apperton Hurst, and Selena Sloan Butler. Their story is inspiring, especially when you consider that it began in the late 1800s, and women did not have the right to vote, and social activism was not popular at the time. In early 1897, Alice and Phoebe started a nationwide campaign because they believed mothers would support their mission to eliminate threats that endangered children. So on February 17, 1897, more than 2,000 people, mostly mothers, but also fathers, teachers, laborers, and legislators, attended the first convocation of the National Congress of Mothers in Washington, D.C. The numbers surprised the organizers, who were only expecting about 200 people. Alice appealed to all mankind and to all womankind, regardless of race, color, or condition, to recognize that the Republic's greatest work is to save the children. In many states, segregated schools were legally sanctioned. To address those students' needs, in 1919, Selena Butler founded the National Congress of Colored Parents and Teachers in Atlanta, Georgia. This organization was modeled after the National Congress of Mothers and worked closely with them until they were ultimately merged in 1970 into what we now call the National PTA. Our National PTA is the largest volunteer child advocacy organization in the country, and since its inception, it's established programs and called for legislation that improves our children's lives. Examples are the creation of kindergarten classes, child labor laws, hot and healthy lunch programs, juvenile justice system, mandatory immunizations, arts and education, and school safety. Founders Day is a reminder of the substantial role that the PTA plays locally, regionally, and nationally in supporting parent involvement and working on behalf of all children and families. It's a time to reflect and take pride in our many accomplishments and to express our appreciation for the collaborative relationship that we have with the Westlake City Schools Administration, teachers and staff, and their respect and phenomenal support for all that we do. We really have an amazing relationship in this city. The founders of the National PTA represented women of imagination and courage. They had a simple idea to improve the lives and future of all children. They understood the power of individual action, worked beyond the accepted barriers of their time, and took action to change the world for all children. Tonight's honorees showcase the vision our founders had, and we look forward to congratulating each of our winners as you're honored here tonight. At this time, I'd like to welcome Barb Lazinski, President of the Westlake City Schools Board of Education.
First of all, I want to say how much I admire and respect everyone in this room for all the work you do for our schools. I wanted to share just briefly my PTA experience. And we're going way, way back to the 1970s. And at the time, my oldest child was in kindergarten. I had a 3-year-old and an infant, and I don't know how they did it, but they talked me into doing the newsletter. So that was my very first job, PTA. Now, this was before computers and the internet and that wonderful thing called email, how we get the newsletters now. So I did it, and most of you are way too young to even remember this, but I had to go up to the school office, and we did it on a mimeograph machine. Some of you will remember. Yes. So when I finished doing my monthly, all my copies for the month, my fingers were blue and purple, my clothes were blue and purple, and my baby, who was, crawling all over the floor, needed to be picked up occasionally. So it was quite an ordeal. So I did that for a few years, and then I graduated to become chairman of the Fun Fair. And it was fun. The kids had fun. I met a lot of neat people, and then gradually went on to do other things, officer and everything, and worked in the refreshment stand when my kids were in high school. So I have to tell you, looking back on it over 40 years, there is not one thing I regret doing. It was all worthwhile. I think it's very important for you to be involved with your children. It makes all the difference. And I just thank you for doing what you do. I think the Westlake PTA is a group of extraordinary volunteers that take their time to help our students, our teachers, our principals, to make them more successful. And trust me, your efforts do not go unnoticed. You are truly appreciated by the Board of Education, and we could not be the premier school that I believe Westlake is without you. And I'm very happy to be here tonight to honor all of you. And now, Superintendent Scott.
I would have come up anyway, Barb. By the way, I remember going to Fun Fair as a kid and actually doing the cakewalk and winning an entire cake and going home and actually thinking I got to eat the whole thing. With 4 boys in my family, that didn't happen. So, anyway, thank you to our PTA Founders Day Committee for giving me the opportunity to speak this evening. I was at another PTA event last night. It was a PTA transition meeting organized by Sarah Camden. What was interesting is prior to that meeting, I was standing in the back, and Karen Erzberger, who's a Holly Lane staff member, OPSI president, but also a 1995 award winner in Founders Day, so she was recognized a little earlier. She leans over and says to me, not only will I see you tonight, but I'll see you tomorrow night too, because it's Founders Day, one of my favorite days of the year. Now, I agree with Karen. This Founders Day celebration is one of my favorite events of the year as well. We bring together a group of people who share the same purpose, which is to work on behalf of our children to improve their lives and impact their future. While we celebrate some of our own publicly with awards, we also celebrate each other as a commitment to the students of the Westlake schools. I love that. I also love the fun elements of this evening. The laughs. I can remember my first Founders Day. That I couldn't believe it. It was really, really fun, and the imitations and things that people did were a lot of fun. The laughs, the stories, and the humble surprise when an award recipient either sees their family in the back of the banquet hall or realizes that the person presenting is actually talking about them. Westlake is blessed with supportive families and staff members who pour their time and efforts into the lives of our students without the expectation of an award or recognition. I also want to emphasize that it's not only the time that you give, but it's the expertise and qualities that you all bring to the table that makes your contribution so much more impactful. Thank you all for what you do for our students, and enjoy this evening and each other. Thank you.
In observance of Founders Day, our PTA units recognize many people who contribute to making a difference for our students and our schools here in Westlake. With this in mind, we will present 3 types of awards tonight. First, the Ohio PTA Achievement Award will be awarded by each of our 9 PTA units. These individuals will receive a certificate, an Ohio PTA Achievement Award pin, and 1-year subscription to the Ohio PTA News. In addition, a donation to the Ohio PTA Memorial Scholarship Fund will be made in their name. The Helping Hands Award and the Outstanding District Educator Award will each be awarded to one person from the Westlake PTA community, which includes PTA Council, Early Childhood PTA, and each of the school's PTA units. The winners will be presented a plaque and their nomination will go to the district level. Once each award winner is announced, their family or friends will join them in front at the podium. After they receive their award, they will be escorted to a separate room to be photographed. And now we'll begin the presentation of awards. We have had to slightly adjust the order in your program to accommodate families. We will start this evening with Westlake Early Childhood PTA.
The presenter for the Ohio PTA Achievement Award for Westlake Early Childhood PTA is Fran Jensen and Amy Sanfilippo Stedman.
Hi, I'm Fran, and I joined the Early Childhood PTA a couple of years ago, not really knowing much about it. I quickly learned that it is a group of amazing moms and dads who are doing so much to enrich the lives of their children. One of the things that we do is offer educational and fun field trips for our children. And I find it to be one of the most important things that our group does, so much so that I almost volunteered to be field trip chair the year after I joined. I'm so glad that I didn't though, because the 2 ladies who have been running the show the past 2 years have just blown it out of the water.
It's hard to follow that up. I'm so excited to be here tonight and present on behalf of 2 beautiful, strong, smart women who are amazing people but also amazing mothers. They've done such a good job over the past few years, planning amazing trips for all of our children. They take into account stay-home moms, working moms. They have events going on 24/7. They work so hard to plan not only fun events, but events that they try to get discounts for us. They really have worked so hard to make sure our children are learning at the events, having fun at the events, but also providing opportunities for us moms to get to know each other. I'm new to the organization. I didn't know anybody. They both embraced me. They made me feel very comfortable, and I really love them for that. They're both wonderful mothers and very positive, awesome people. When you meet them and you're in their presence, you feel important and special. So I'm so excited to present this award. We are to Tina Savori and Maria Sclaris. Please come up. Ladies aren't going to speak, but their little men are coming in to meet them. Here they come right now.
Ohio PTA Achievement Award for Bassett Elementary School PTA are Jim Sanfilippo, Mary Macias, Jen Jones, and Sarah Tabling.
Welcome to The Bachelor, Bassett PTA edition. I'm Chris Harrison. We are here today for the final rose ceremony, which happens to be the most dramatic rose ceremony in Bachelor history. Contestants, if you do not receive a rose today, please say your goodbyes. First up, we have Jen. Jen, our PTA is looking for someone who has been a council delegate, president, vice president, and chaired multiple projects. Have you done any of these things? Okay, let's move on to our next contestant. Mary. We are looking for someone who has been Girl Scout leader, been PTA secretary, been head room parent, and chaired membership. Have you done any of these things? This is getting a little disappointing. Moving on to our final contestant, Sarah. Have you been in charge of breakfast for Santa for an entire city? Chaired First Day folders, summer reading, or helped with the PTA transition committee?
No, none of those.
Oh, this is getting bad. Hold on to your hats, everyone. This is quite a surprise. We may have our winner. Our PTA wants someone who has done all of these things and more. Someone who is kind, super organized, and extremely committed to her family, friends, and the community. Someone who is first in line to volunteer and does so with a smile. Someone who has the ability to bring teams together and strive to see everyone's point of view. Also, they would ideally like someone who really loves reality TV. Like The Bachelor. Jen Richards.
Just want to say thank you for that honor, and the only reason I'm able to do that is because all of those things you just listed, I've had an amazing village around to help and support. So, started with early childhood when she was 2 months old, and now she's in 5th grade, and it's carried on through. So, Westlake has given our family a lot of support and love, and we just like to try to give it back. So, thank you.
Okay, there's always a first year. That's okay, I'm right with you. So. Here's where we get a little out of order. The next presentation is going to be for Lee Burdenson Middle School. Presenters for the award is Lauren Falcone.
Good evening. I don't have any props. I'm sorry. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lauren Falcone, current member of DIS and WHS PTAs. And this is my 12th Founders Day. I'm really that old. I didn't nominate this next recipient, but since I'm a Founders Day co-chair with Mary Essig this year for the high school, and because I know this person pretty well, I got roped into being up here this evening. I'm going to give you a top 10 list on why I think this lovely lady is so deserving of this award. Number 10, she was the first person to greet me with open arms when I moved back to Westlake. She is so welcoming whether she knows you or not. In fact, her nomination form stated she's a warm, welcoming face to the other volunteers. Number 9, she is so patient and so kind. She never speaks negatively of anyone. Number 8, no problem is too big or too small. She always gives 110% of her time and energy. Another quote from her nomination, she picks a project and executes with skill and passion. She can always be counted on to excel at whatever she volunteers to do. Number 7, she gets involved in all levels of PTA. She is always involved in her buildings, but she has also done work with the district and even buildings her kids haven't been to yet. Number 6, my kids are older than hers, so she has on occasion asked me for advice on sharing certain PTA positions. She's yet to kill me for all of my different PTA positions I have recommended that she tried over the last 9 years. Fundraising, silent auctions, website, field day, and one very challenging but very profitable event at LBMS, one that shall not be named, a little bit like Voldemort. Number 5, she's super organized and has the ability to communicate what needs to be done. Another quote from her nomination form, her organization and communication skills are top-notch. This may have to do with her degree, but again, we all benefit here at PTA from that. Number 4, volunteerism runs in her blood, and she has passed it down to her kids. Her entire family volunteers with various nonprofit groups in Cleveland. Her parents trained her well and set such a good example of giving back to the schools and the community. Number 3, she is very, very humble. She has been nominated for a Founders Day Award in the past at the elementary level and actually asked us to remove her name. She felt there were very, very more deserving PTA members than herself for the award. This is the best one. Number 2, one year I sent her a text from the nominating committee at Dawn Evans' house asking if she would want to be considered for VP of Silent Auction with me as a co-chair. I forgot I had my husband's phone that night, and based on my quick texting skills, the text truncated to, "Will you do it with me?" From my husband's contact information. Well, after a long pause and a text that read, "Lauren?" ? She, of course, said yes, helping me out because that's the way she is. And the number one reason she is so deserving of this award is that she will not be mad at me after I had to beg and tell a few white lies to get her here tonight. Because, of course, she had another nonprofit event to go to this evening. When I told her that another friend of ours was being nominated at the elementary level, she jumped right in and wanted to help me present. She even wrote the remarks for me. In no way is this PTA member a plain Jane. She is so passionate about her causes, always has great big ideas that work. She never says no to helping kids and making the schools and her community a better place. I'm so very lucky to call her a friend since we were 15 years old, a fellow Westlake High School grad, and my neighbor. Come up here, Jane Hammond Pier, and know you.
I've met so many friends through the PTA, so in fact, I'd rather volunteer than work.
PTA Achievement Award for Dover Elementary School PTA are Tim Merritt and the staff of Dover Elementary.
So I think we're all up here. We as staff are super excited that we could be here to present our top 10 list, which 3 minutes ago was really creative. So we have the top 10 reasons why Dover could not live without this staff member. So our first reason, well, it's life checks. Our second reason that Dover could not live without this person is finding people to cover classrooms when there really are not any subs.
Hi. Kids so called off at the last minute. Can you cover the class for a bit? Yeah, no, well, Mr. Barrett's already covering 4 other classes. No, Mr. Pace can't do it. He's already covering for Mrs. Riley because Mrs. Riley is covering for Mrs. Doyle, who's doing bus duty for Mr. Pace. He can't do it. Okay, I'll try someone else.
Okay, and the number 8 reason why Dover could not live without this staff member is who would answer. Don't worry, I got it. Who would answer this? Don't worry, I got it. Ding dong, 1,000 times a day.
It's open, come on in.
Number 7 reason why Dover could not survive without this person is for our transportation issues.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, this is Susie Parrott calling. I know it's 2:15, but Johnny is on the bus, and I wonder if you could get him off because I forgot he has eager engineers this afternoon.
Make it happen. And the number 6 reason why Dover could not survive without the staff member is who's going to decide if they're sick or not sick?
Dover Elementary.
Yes, hi. Susie, she threw up twice today. Can I still send her to school?
Our policy is that children must be fever, diarrhea, and vomiting.
She had a fever, but I gave her Motrin, so she should be fine.
Our policy is that children must be fever, diarrhea, and vomiting free for 24 hours.
But that feels really cool.
Number 5 reason Dover could not live without the staff member is who would do our announcements.
Good morning, Dover. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
and to
the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
for all. We have a birthday. It's a special birthday for this staff member. Gosh, she must be like 75. And so make sure you say happy birthday to her. And several other birthday announcements are Joshua Creston Faugenshire. Happy birthday to you. And Nadia Litzman-Kausen. Okay, happy birthday to you. Okay, we also have some type of engineers that are meeting, and yeah, so, okay, thank you very much, Dover. Have a good day. Make it a good day.
And the number 4 reason Dover could not survive without the staff member is who would give out all the Band-Aids.
I don't even see it. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, please, I
walk. No fever, back to class. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, no fever, back to class.
The number 2 reason Dover could not survive without the staff member is this staff member truly never says no to anybody or anything.
Can you have a stamp again to mail a bill that I should have mailed last week, please?
Of course I do. I'll take her.
Oh, I need a class list, like, maybe like all the kids and put them in alphabetical order by their phone number.
I'll get right on.
Okay, and I forgot to get something that contains for us on my special, no leak. Can I take your car?
Absolutely.
And possibly the number 1 reason that we could not survive at Dover without the staff member is to take someone really special to manage Tim Barrett.
Very true. Very true. I'm not sure where to begin, but I've had the pleasure and honor to work with Sandy for 11 years now. And Sandy's our building secretary. She's a nursemaid. She's our sounding board, greeter, organizer, mother to all students and even staff and myself. She does all these things and more with pure honest compassion and in a positive manner. She juggles many plates and does so with humor and a smile. And one of the most challenging tasks we just mentioned is working with me. She managed to keep me on task and endures my immature and relentless humor. And she is a true saint. She's not one to take credit for things that she does. In fact, she always tries to just kind of hide in the background. But her true reason that she does the things that she does is because it's who she truly is. It comes naturally. I've spoken to many parents, and they always tell me the same thing, that how much they really love Sandy. She's always there to help and assist with parents, students, and staff's needs, no matter how big or small. She's the first point of contact for her school and always demonstrates a professional and personal approach that is expected in her position. But the big difference is that she does it because she truly cares, and not because she has to. Sandy always goes above and beyond, and I'm very proud and appreciative of everything she does. She's my right hand, my organizer, my sounding board, and the glue of our school, but most of all, she's my friend.
We took too much time. I'm going to make it really short. I'm also your work wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so shocked. Oh my goodness, my family's here. Well, this is my first family of many. I have 6 grandchildren, but these are my Cleveland grandchildren. My daughter, my husband, my son came in from Kentucky. I knew you were here, but I didn't know you knew this. Thank you so much. This is such an honor. I am so privileged to work for Westlake City Schools. So our kids, my daughter and son, my 2 daughters and my son graduated from Westlake High School. I've been in the system forever, obviously. Obviously. I'm old, obviously. It's sad to retire, but thank you, Dover staff. You're my second family. Believe me, I love you so much. This is like the best ending of my career I could ever ask for. Thank you so much, everyone.
award would be for Hilliard Elementary. The presenter for the Ohio PTA Achievement Award for Hilliard Elementary is Abby Samee.
So we can go back here.
I'm really glad I did not go with my option. That's what I was. But initially when I started writing the speech, I made several references to Harry Potter and the parallels between Hogwarts and Hilliard Elementary PTA. I turned it down in one paragraph of references in case some of you have not read Harry Potter. It doesn't mean it's blatantly clear that I was over the top of Harry Potter. How many have read Potter? Awesome. I know, you guys will get it. As stated above, there are many parallels between Hogwarts and Hilliard. We have the Slytherins and the Gryffindors. We have our Hermione, Ron, Dudley, our own Draco Malfoy, and of course, the recipient of our award tonight, our own Harry Potter. If you haven't read Harry Potter, his character is always doing what is best for the greater good. He is the chosen one and has the responsibility of doing what is best for Hogwarts, just as this person does what is best for Hilliard. When I found out I was writing this speech, I asked a few people, when you think of this person, what stands out? It was a unanimous response. This person always advocates and does what is best for his students. This is not always the easiest of tasks with managing the demands of the administration, parents, expectations of outside entities. Anyone in this room that has been a past or current president knows the difficulty of this job. It is a thankless, at times, hours of work. People aren't always happy with your decisions. You're not always the most popular. However, this person is handled with grace, dignity, and a ton of patience. The second thing that stands out about this person is their vast knowledge of PTA bylaws, policy, and procedure. She attends conferences far and near to know the right way to do things. She can recite PTA code like a second language. Clearly, she knows the most obscure facts about the PTA. If you ever need clarification on a bylaw, she's the woman to call. In fact, she's also earned the Golden Key Award, which is very important. I don't know what it is, but I hear it's very important. Liz told me it was. Ways she has made her mark in Hilliard are by the programming she has brought to the school. If our candidate ever tells you I have an idea, it's going to be an amazing idea. However, it will be a multi-layered event. One of my first interactions with this person was when she came up to me and said, hey, I have an idea for Fun Fair. Because I was sharing Fun Fair that year. Super fun times. As chair of Fun Fair at Hilliard, it's a spring carnival that was getting pretty stale. So when she said I have an idea, I'm like, I have no ideas, that's amazing. And the concept of Hilliard Moves It was born. So Fun Fair went from one night to a kickoff party, fitness tracking for two straight weeks, and a giant celebration event at Sky Zone. And then we had to add a fundraiser in because we ran out of money because of 3 events rather than 1. However, it was an epic event, and now it's part of Lorain County Schools programming, which is amazing. So not only helping with Hilliard programming, this program she created is being used in Lorain County Schools. They're using Hilliard Moves It, Lorain Moves It. It's pretty cool. Another programming idea came from her writing a grant to get funds for the Right to Read Week. She received the grant and had 3 or 4 weeks to put together a program, and the Reading Olympiad was born for Hilliard. However, pulling together a program of this magnitude in a short period of time is not an easy task. She prevailed, and we have just completed our 2nd year of the Reading Olympiad. There are many more examples of her work at Hilliard I could give. However, I only have 2 minutes to do this and give you a portrait of who she is. This year, I am so excited to present this award to Amber McLovey. Did you know? Tommy and I bet, did you know? No. Eric, did you know?
I definitely don't think so.
Wow. I don't know what to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are. This has been an amazing experience. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a whirlwind. I'm so grateful for the support that I've received from Kim Tucker, from the staff at Hilliard, which is the most amazing staff anywhere in the world, seriously. I'm like so shocked. I just didn't think I was gonna be here. So thank you to my amazing team that's sitting at that table and those who couldn't be here. Thank you. I'm looking forward to what's coming next. What? And my family. Sorry, thank you so much.
Presenters of the Ohio PTA Achievement Award for Holly Lane Elementary School are Megan Navratil, Susan Hunter, and Sarah Eckel.
Okay, so I'm just going to go straight from the script. All right. So as a PTA president, I encountered lots of different types of people affiliated with the PTA. Every type of person makes a contribution to the organization in ways big or small, all of which are appreciated. But ask any president, current or former, to describe what the best type of PTA member is, and I bet the description would perfectly fit this year's recipient for Holly Lane. In a nutshell, she is the epitome of the ideal PTA member. It is very hard to sum up her contributions because she is so many things to so many people. She is a mother, a wife, a sister, a friend, a supporter, a cheerleader, a quiet leader, a helping hand, and so many other amazing things. Her contributions are so numerous that she was nominated by multiple individuals, several of whom are standing up here with me to present her with this award. I think the best way to understand her true impact is to hear the words used to nominate her. So we're going to read through all the different nominations. The first is from Susie Skye, a teacher at Holly Lane. She's not here with us tonight. This is what Susie says. She has a heart of gold and is always thinking of helping others. She makes a mental note of what's needed for the classroom and for the students and will donate it. She genuinely cares about the academic and social growth of all students, and she strives to make our Holly Lane students feel better. From donating items to the prize box to donating Big 3 shirts, she is the one person I could always count on to be there. She is always ready for the challenge and wants to do more. She is a natural when it comes to working with kids, and as a teacher, I loved having her in the classroom to support our learning. My students enjoyed her very much with about 6 exclamation points. I did too. Also, she plans events and class parties that are fun for everyone. She freely gives her time and is so dedicated to Holly Lane. She is very well deserving. And this is what I had to say. She is quick to lend a hand, first to recognize a need, and then volunteer to step up to fill it, and tireless in her enthusiasm. She is a positive and ubiquitous member of the Wesley community, and particularly the Holly Lane community. She volunteers to assist with any project or committee, both big and small. She always has a ready smile and a kind word for everyone she encounters. She is thoughtful in her efforts to improve PTA events and willing to do whatever hard work is called for during the planning and execution stages of any PTA or school function. She is one of Holly Lane's biggest cheerleaders, and she is also one of the major reasons that it is the great place that it is. This is what Dawn Freeman had to say, who couldn't be here tonight. She is always ready to lend a hand to make the PTA events at Holly Lane a success. She jumps in, sometimes with just a moment's notice, and helps make things run smoothly. She is super organized and has a knack for knowing just what needs to be taken care of. I would love to see all of her hard work and knowledge with the PTA award. She takes on so many tasks, it makes my head spin. And despite taking on a million things, she is calm about it. When I helped chair an event and was worried about all the little details, she was there to help ensure things ran perfectly and make me realize I was worrying for nothing. This is what I do. She goes above and beyond to volunteer her time at Holly Lane. However, it is not only what she does for our school and students, but how she does it. You will never see her walking around without a smile on her face. Her enthusiasm and passion can easily be seen through her creative thoughts and ideas. Her spirit is contagious, her honesty valued, her goodness exceptional. Her genuine commitment to Holly Lane, her church, family, and friends is one that is unmatched. But most importantly, she does it all with a graceful balance.
And here's what I had to say. She serves as Holly Lane PTA's corresponding secretary and is committee chair of bookstore, rewards and rebate, and my co-chair for Founders Day, which, as you can imagine, makes nights really difficult for her. But we did it, right? Don't let that fool you though, as she is constantly lending a hand to nearly every event, program, project, or committee. She logs countless volunteer hours at the school and gives generously when called upon. She does this not only for the love of her two children, Jacob and Emma, but for the love of Holly Lane and all the kids there. Where Cheers is a place where everybody knows your name, Holly Lane is a place where everybody knows and loves Mrs. Clark. So congratulations.
I'm going to finish the last couple sentences because everyone at Holly Lane appreciates all that you do to make our little corner of the community a better and brighter place. You are an amazing person, friend, and volunteer. Thank you.
Speaking in public again. I came into the PTA not knowing even what the PTA did. I grew up in the 70s. Nobody came to the parties. It was just parties. The teachers did it all. So when I joined the PTA, I was like, what in the world? Like, what is this community? What is this, all these women join together? And then when the men joined, I was like, oh my gosh. You know what, if I didn't have the PTA, and my friends that I made, I just wouldn't feel like home. It must feel like home. So thank you. Thank you. The presenters for the Ohio PTA Achievement Award for Dover Intermediate School are Dawn Evans and Nick Miller.
This next recipient is the winner of the Dover Intermediate School Ohio Achievement Award. Now, when this person finds out they won, they may be a little, or more than a little, shocked. Although all the recipients tonight have been and will be surprised by their name being called, I believe this person will truly rise to the level of being shocked. You see, this recipient does not organize volunteers, does not chair any unit committees, does not fundraise, or coordinate events at DIS. This recipient, however, does make walking into DIS to do these and many other activities at the school possible. Not only does she make it possible, she makes these tasks easier, much more manageable, and often more entertaining. She makes volunteering, working, and teaching at DIS more enjoyable by being willing to stop whatever she's doing, and she's always doing something to help with what you need. On top of that, she makes us laugh while she's doing it. Without expectation of any kind, our recipient goes above and beyond her duties at DIS. Some of these we witness, but there is no doubt she does so much more and probably never says a word to anyone. She stops work to help wrangle kids for an outing. She alters her plan to help organize equipment needed for her or fix something that we can't figure out. She puts off what she will eventually have to do and may even keep her at the building even longer to give you a hand when you ask.
So I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag right away. There are really two main reasons why this DIS staff member is winning this award this evening. I see the wheels turning. They're connecting the dots. There's two main reasons why this individual won, why Jill won our PTA Founders Day Award for Dover Intermediate School. First of all, Jill, our assistant head custodian, is unbelievably amazing at her job. Jill takes initiative and just gets stuff done. You don't have to ask her to do it, she just takes care of it. And she has an unbelievable attention to detail. When Mrs. Hall comes in the morning, because she's run out of Post-its the day prior, those Post-its are filled up. Jill takes care of it. When Mrs. Hall became convinced that a mouse had nested in her office, Jill came up with some really creative ways to catch that mouse. And when Mrs. Hall demanded that it be unharmed and safely returned to the wilderness, Jill found out a way to do that too. For reasons we still can't figure out, our school counselor, Carrie Brickman, who's sitting right over there, she moves her trash can to a new location every day on a daily basis. When you walk in her office, her trash can, it's anyone's guess where that thing's at. Jill still comes in every day, finds the trash can, empties it as she does all the other trash cans in the building. And when the principal left his lunch in his refrigerator in his office for 2 or 3 months, give or take, and an odor began emanating throughout the office, Jill located the source of the odor, cleaned the refrigerator, and fixed the problem. Jill took care of that too. Who knew that yogurt expired so quickly? But Jill, you still owe me some grapes because there was nothing wrong with the grapes. You did not need to get rid of the grapes. Jill is still the only person in the building that I trust with a paintbrush. I was convinced that you needed to take everything off if you were going to paint something and do a nice job. Jill is unbelievable when it comes to painting. And she doesn't take a thing, and it's perfect every time. So Jill has been our designated painter for as long as I've been there. So one of the reasons, the first reason that Jill is receiving this award is because she's unbelievable at her job. And those are the things that we see, as was prior mentioned. There's a ton of things that happen when we're home in the evening and Jill's working, cleaning, and taking care of things, setting up for events the following day that we don't even ever see. The more important reason why Jill is receiving this award is because she's an amazing person. Jill has an uncanny ability to become instant friends with everyone she meets. She has this disarming, likable quality about her. When you talk with her, whether it's students, staff, or parents, they just gravitate towards her. And the only evidence you need is if you show up at DIS at the end of the school day, and you walk through our LINK program, you'll see all the kids talking to Jill, you'll see parents coming in talking with Jill, and you'll see staff interacting with her as well. That's why both staff and parents were happy to nominate Jill for this award. But that's why we were absolutely devastated when we found out this year that Jill would be moving to the high school. That's why I call Paul Wilson on a daily basis and tell him, she's just not a good fit for you. It's not going to work out. Let's make a trade. You see, when to know Jill is to love Jill. And without Jill in our building, she's left an indelible mark on the DIS community. Without her, things will definitely not be the same. That's why she is our 2019 DIS Founders Day Award.
Oh my God, you guys are so cute. Well, obviously I have no speech prepared because I was just hanging out with people that I know and I thought somebody else was doing something and just hanging out, but here we are. Thank you guys. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I just do what I do and I guess I'm getting recognized for that. I'm not a speech person.
The presenter of the Ohio PTA Achievement Award for Westlake High School PTSA is Mary Essex.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by sharing some numbers with you. 7, 100, 200, 300, and 3,000. What could these numbers possibly mean and have in common? Let's start with the smallest number first. This is the number of years our award recipient has volunteered in a specific position. Over that time period, she has recruited and organized about 100 adult volunteers. Over that same time period, she has organized and supervised about 200 student volunteers. And for that time frame, her efforts have included assisting and organizing some of over 300 vendors in attendance. While our award recipient has probably figured out why she is here tonight, many of you do not know to what she has devoted the last 7 years of her PTSA life. Bernadette Kranz has been the Health and Wellness Chair for 7 years. In this role, her primary responsibility is to partner with the school nurse, Betsy Kaiser, and participate on the Wellness Committee to organize the annual Health and Wellness Fair at the high school. The fair typically occurs in March and consists of 4 different speaker presentations in the PAC, one for each grade level, on a topic relevant to that grade, such as male and female health, prescription drug abuse, and campus safety. Additionally, about 40 to 50 health and wellness vendors set up in the auxiliary gym, and students are encouraged to visit the fair throughout the day. The Health and Wellness Fair is one of the largest events available to all students at the high school, and Bernadette has consistently helped to make it a success. Over the years, Bernadette has been involved in other PTA committees, Girl Scouts, and her church, and she even chaperoned the music groups that recently traveled to the OMEAs. But it's obvious that her PTA passion is health, safety, and wellness. Bernadette may not be involved in a multitude of PTA positions each year, but she has chosen a position for which she is very passionate and dedicated her efforts to bring the best health and wellness fair to all Westlake High School students. Now, many of you may have thought I forgot about the last number, 3,000, but I didn't. Bernadette's desire and commitment to make the fair the best it can be has impacted about 3,000 of our children as they have progressed through the high school, and this is priceless. And this is why she's so deserving of this award. I'd like to close with a brief story. The first year Bernadette helped coordinate the wellness fair, she reached out to me to volunteer at the event. When volunteers arrived at their shift, she gave us each a beautiful neon green t-shirt that would clearly identify us as volunteers. At the end of my shift, I neatly folded the t-shirt to return to Bernadette. She politely told me to hold on to it, since that would ensure I'd volunteer at the wellness fair the next year. So I did keep it, and I did continue to volunteer at the fair every year since then. And I would encourage everybody to do it at the high school. It's really amazing. Since my youngest is a senior, this will be my last year helping with the fair, Bernadette, and I will be returning the t-shirt if you want it. But I couldn't resist, Bernadette. In your honor tonight.
Because I was always so surprised how welcome you were to all the parents that came in to help. I know that's tough now with security and everything, but you always found a way to invite us in, to work with the teachers, to be there by their side while we got to watch our kids learn, and that really meant a lot. So thank you. Thanks to the health and wellness volunteers here. I don't know if it was ever my passion. I think it was just got roped into it, and I actually really do enjoy it. I do enjoy it, and you really get to interact with a lot of fun. So.
The presenters for the Ohio PTA Achievement Award for Westlake Council of PTAs are Jessica Kim and Rachel Jewell.
Actually, I've decided that we're not going to announce the winner for the council award. I think what we're going to do is have a PSA on behalf of all Founders Day chairs, half of the people in this room. So for the other half of the room, and for those of you watching on WHBS, when we say Founders Day is a great event, you should come. Hey, we're going to get a table. How about if you come and join us? That means
you better come.
You better come. There is a reason that we keep asking you. Your children's sporting events can wait. We're just saying. So our nominee loves people in general and has a heart that is dedicated to the youngest students of our community. She has no tolerance for children not having what they need to succeed, whether it's school supplies, quality peers, clothing, supportive parents, a hug, or a meal. Through the years, she has held an impressive list of PTA positions that have supported our children. Chairperson for Founders Day, children's parties, One School, One Book, and Book Fair, just to name a few. But she has also been a council delegate, parliamentarian, first vice president, and it all started as president of the North Olmsted Early Childhood PTA. I think, however, that she would agree that her work with the Council of PTA's Community Service Committee is her favorite and most fulfilling. Over the last several years, she has led the charge for the Community Service Committee, and her efforts for the May Dugan and Westlake Assistance Program are inspirational. She coordinates the food and toiletry drive between our 9 PTA units, the District Transportation Department, as well as the community service agencies, and through it, she makes it all look easy. Because of her dedication and love of these organizations, our community is able to provide food for many people in the greater Cleveland area. When she took over this committee, she needed one bus. This fall, she not only needed 2 buses, but also several other cars. May Dugan and Westlake Community Service are beyond grateful for these donations, and we are thankful that Erin Basil's love for children continues to inspire our PTAs to feed the people in our community who need a little help. Erin, thank you for all. Oh my God, my little people are here. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Hi. Okay, so I mean, I look around this room and I know like the majority of you. When we moved to Westlake, we don't have family in town, so I was like, what am I gonna do? Where are my people? I jumped into early childhood. You guys, this is the most amazing organization ever, and it was just completely embraced, and everything just skyrocketed from there. Like my love of Westlake, everything, and I have been blessed with the opportunity to now teach in Westlake, and I feel like sometimes I'm riding these parallel universes, like the parent path, the teacher path, and tonight it just collides. And there are times when everything and everyone you love is together, and I feel like it's Christmas. I don't know, we've been so blessed, our family, and oh my God, Brian, like the crazy ideas that I come up with, and the renting vans, because I didn't think we were gonna have enough space for the food, so we left work and went to the rental car place and rented a van to come pick up food for May Dugan. We've been beyond blessed in this community, and I think it's only fair to pay it forward. And I know my girls love volunteering as much as I do, and I've been asked, like, why don't you work full-time? And those of you that know me know it's because I wouldn't have time to volunteer. My other half time is volunteering. It's my passion, and in this community, everything that we know and love is here. And so thank you to all of you, my colleagues and my friends that have become family. You guys are so important, and this is amazing. So thank you guys so much.
It's now time for a presentation for Helping Hands. Today's presenter for Helping Hands is Lisa Forsyth.
And Kathy Nash is with me also. And I just have to say that being at the end of this night really kind of sucks. Like, there's a lot of really tough acts to follow, but I think you're going to be impressed with what we have to say.
We don't have a top 10.
We don't have a top 10. We have a top 82.
Hi, we are honored to be presenting the Helping Hands Award tonight. Tonight's award was created for people just like our recipients. People who are honorable, loyal, hardworking, positive, energetic, and dedicated to making Westlake great. Our recipient is one of all those things and so much more. This person is not native to Westlake. or even to Ohio. But if you didn't know that, you might guess that they were Westlake born and raised because of his loyalty to the community. You might even think that this person was an alum because of their commitment to the schools. But our recipient is neither. Our recipient is a loving husband and father to 3 wonderful young adults. He began his PTA adventures at Hilliard Elementary, where he was field day committee chairperson for several years. The list of his professional accomplishments is almost too long for the time we have tonight. But here are just a few of the highlights. Our recipient has a very important job at the Westlake Porter Public Library. And under his leadership, the library has grown into one of the treasured jewels of the Westlake community. At the library, he has helped to establish a summer enrichment program for young learners. He hired one of the first librarians anywhere with a special education degree background. Hiring the specialist allowed our library to provide an adaptive story time for our youngest learners and the opportunity for our older students with special needs to give back as volunteers. Our recipient has helped to develop and nurture a partnership with the school district that includes having copies of textbooks available at the library for student use, homework help stations, and accelerated reader programs available on the library computers. He even volunteers to come to the elementary school as a special guest reader for our One School, One Book program.
By now, I hope you all know who we're talking about. And I'm sure you all have your own anecdotes that you could add to this. But when the founding director of Connecting for Kids approached our recipient about holding programs at the library 7 years ago, his response was, "Yes! What else can I do to help?" Our recipient now serves as the president of the Connecting for Kids Board of Directors. Connecting for Kids is proud to report that there are currently families from 32 different neighboring communities who utilize our library because they feel that there is always a place for them there. Their director also says that, and I quote, "Connecting for Kids would not be where they are today had our recipient not said yes to helping them 7 years ago." Our recipient worked with the PTA Council to create Partners for Community Connections, an educational series held at the library that serves as a resource for families wanting information on helping their children manage stress, anxiety, and even addressing the opioid crisis. As a member of the Westlake community, he has served as a volunteer coordinator for Celebrate Westlake. He marches in every parade. He is a member of the Westlake Rotary Club, the Westlake Kiwanis, the Town Criers, the Elks Lodge, the Citizens Advisory Committee. He plays on several adult soccer teams and even plays the guitar in a band called the Screaming Armadillos. Maybe you guys can play this gig next year. Whether in his role as the library director, the Connecting for Kids board president, a dedicated PTA volunteer, or a headbanging guitar player, every decision our recipient makes is always based on what is best for Westlake's children and what he can do to help impact our community for the better. If you haven't guessed it yet, you're really dense, but if you haven't guessed it yet, our recipient is one of our favorite people. We adore this gentleman. Tonight, we have only touched on his many contributions to the Westlake community. There are so many, many more. And as we've mentioned earlier, he really is the very reason why awards like this are created. He is more than deserving of this honor. We appreciate all you do for this community. We are so very proud to present this year's Helping Hands Award to Mr. Andrew Mangles.
I did not see that coming. I didn't see it coming. I do love being part of this community. I've worked with so many of you. I could name names longer than what you read of all the great people that I've been able to work with. But one of the great joys I've had is to be working with the school district for the 12 in Westlake, and the current administration working with Dr. Gotti and Joe Kraft, Bob Rosinski, and the rest of the board, and so many teachers. I get the privilege of going back to Hilliard tomorrow to read. I've always enjoyed that, and with Ms. Reisdorf, we're paired up to read. I used to go to her classroom over here and perform in your classroom, and just the field day year after year after year of field day. And it never rained, never once did it rain on my field day. I'm privileged in my position at Porter Library to be able to make a difference in the community, and I do try to do that every single day. The one thing, and I don't know if many of you may not know this, my background actually, I have a degree in education. So I was going to be a teacher in Kansas City. I got my teaching degree, and then to be honest with you, I wussed out. Because I didn't have what it takes to do what you all do in the classroom every day. I realized that wow, that was a tough job, and it takes a really special person to be able to do that, so I wussed out and became a librarian. But I do use my library degree every single day, and I hope that it does help make our community a better place. And my family, I'm just so grateful you're all here. I bet you were. and my poor wife and family, I'm gone almost every night of the week, and only about once or twice a year does she say, can you please be home once in a while? So she puts up with a lot and has raised our lovely family here.
Our final award to be presented this evening is the Outstanding District Educator Award. Matt?
So a slight curveball here as we move ahead. I think one of the nice things about this award is when you get to hear from your students that impact you most. So I went back to check on our students who are here that are going to present this award. And Matt Epley, who is here with us this evening, who probably some of you know, said, hey, Mr. Wilson, how about you present me? So Matt, I am presenting you, and you present this award.
So I know all of you have been here for a really long time, so I'll make this quick. So as Mr. Wilson said, I'm Matt Epley, and I am the Westlake High School Band President and the co-secretary. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And so I've been given, oh, I can take this out. All right. So, when I hear the phrase, Outstanding District Educator Award, a few things come to mind that really, describe this person very well. This person's been showing up 5 days a week, year after year, just to work with us. And if you really saw how we behave, you'd start to wonder, how do they keep their sanity, This person's brought a very positive impact to the music department ever since they've started working in Westlake. This person has worked with several different groups at Westlake and has really helped them reach their fullest potential. This person has given a lot of their time outside of school just to support the students, which really means a lot to all of us. This person has tried to make us more mature and confident musicians, and it's really paid off. We were fortunate enough to have several different individuals nominate this person for the award. Starting off, Westlake Music Group's Vice President, Mrs. Barb Epley, better known as my mother. As she put it, this person really cares about the success of the students and is very accessible to the parents. In addition, Westlake Music Group's President, Mrs. Megan Smith, said that this person is supportive but a demanding director. and their success can be shown through Westlake's Music's annual superior ratings at OMEA contests. Finally, Westlake High School principal, Mr. Wilson, added that this person has made the music program dynamic on so many levels and believes there is no one more deserving of this award. As well as being a great director here at Westlake, this person brings their positive winning attitude to the music department every day. And that brings a positive winning attitude out of all the students, which is something I'd never take for granted, knowing how much of a challenge it is to deal with us. This person has transformed our instrumental groups from being pretty good to some of the best in all of Northeastern Ohio. All these traits define to me someone worthy of the Outstanding District Educator Award. So without further ado, would you always please join me in congratulating Mrs. Hillary Patriot.
It's just a joy for me to be in this district. It's been 5 years now, and I can honestly say it's the best career decision I ever made was coming here to Westlake. The support that the music department gets from parents, from administrators, from the PTA, who gave us a grant this year to help us with our prep for the OMEA conference. We had 2 groups play this year, which was amazing. Mr. Wilson, who's an amazing, supportive principal and always there to listen and support us as we go. And wonderful boosters and parents like Mr. and Mrs. Epley, who have been there from the first day I walked in. I met Mrs. Epley and Mrs. Smith, and they've been amazing ever since. So I'm so appreciative and blessed for this, and thank you so much. I don't know what to say. Thank you.
As we conclude our Founders Day celebration, we'd like to congratulate each of our winners tonight. Thank you for your involvement in our schools and your commitment to the students of Westlake. We'd also like to acknowledge Macy Seinrich for taking photos this evening, the awesome banquet manager and staff here at Wagner's, and WHBS for filming our event. Thank you. If all the recipients could please meet by the fireplace at the grand...
Actually, change of plans. We right across the hall, and the room right across the hall, I think it's the West Hall.
So all recipients that received an award tonight, please meet in the West Hall for a brief photograph. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. We hope you enjoyed it.